Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I thought today I would do something a little different. I would film a video on the Hobonichi Weeks on 4 different ways that you can actually use your Hobonichi Weeks. I was actually sitting and thinking about, how much I love my weeks. And I love that it is so slim, it's so portable. I obviously just use the original size, the regular size. It's not the mega. I have actually purchased the mega before in the past, and it was just too big for me. Anyway, so I do use my Hobonichi Weeks 2 different ways. I have 2 different weeks. I have one as my daily journal that I write little snippets of my life um, in the weeks. And then I have one that is my everyday carry where I kind of just throw in my to-do lists, my appointments, birthdays, bill dues, all those necessities where I would actually reach and um, reference to. So it's something that it goes in my purse. I will pull it out when I need to. I know a lot of people will use their phone. I tend to like pen to paper. I'll probably use my phone for a quick reference check and then I like to write it down. Otherwise, I just don't remember. So this series, or I shouldn't say series, this video is going to be 4 different ways that you can actually use your Hobonichi Weeks. So the first one I actually would like to share is how I would use my Hobonichi Weeks if I were using this as a wellness health planner. So here, um, some people like to have a wellness planner just dedicated to their wellness journey. If you're just going on a weight loss program, a mental health program, whatever it may be, uh, you can actually use this in all different sort of ways. Um, so you could actually use this area here as your fitness tracker. So you could actually log either your steps if you're planning on introducing walking to your health journey, or you could actually mark your sleep, how many hours you have slept that night. I've seen people actually do little different keys where they will have maybe red for gym days, blue for leg days, yellow for cardio days, and then you can kind of log that way. I actually don't use this. For me, I am only going to track the days that I've actually worked out. So what I generally do is I like to use the monthly section as well as just the weekly section. And what you could also do too is use the back section here, the notes pages, if you really like to have that satisfaction of looking at um, all your workouts and being checked off. So it's just an additional tracking check off. And there is this one part here. I don't know if it's in this particular one, but this is okay. So this one doesn't. Oh, maybe it's this is the one that I ripped out. So there's that 365 days in the back of the January start that you can actually put stickers or color it off. So you can use that as your as a tracker as well. I generally like to just use the monthly because what I like to do is actually set this up and use the monthly as my exercise calendar. I am very big on having a calendar so that I know what I'm going to work on. And then I like to, follow this calendar. I'm very much into structure. So, like, say right now, I am following the T25 program. So, it is not the T25 the regular one. I think it's the one that's called Super Block. So I like to just transfer whatever their calendar is onto my monthly. And then I would throw in certain things that I kind of want to do for myself. So Wednesday the 1st. So I am using, this is an older planner. This is my other planner for me to kind of scribble on. So this one is May. And for the first just write down to my calendar. Run for a minute and then walk for 1.5 minutes, and it just builds you up as if I'm training for a 5K. So basically that's what I would say a walk. And when I say run in my thingy here, it's basically where the running section is a little bit longer than say a minute. It's probably like 2. So I would do my monthly calendar as a calendar that I would want my exercise to be. Now, there's many ways that you can do this. You could actually also use this as a tracker. So there are these stickers that you can probably get from different shops, and you could just put the 1 to 31 here, and you can track whether you did cardio, full workout, ab workout, and you can just check off and check off those dates. So let me pull that sticker out, and then I will show you how it's done. So I got this from Papery Planning. So you have 1 to 31. And for those who actually like to use this side panel as a tracker, which I think is actually a great idea. For somebody like me, where exercise had not been my favorite thing to do, I like to reward myself by seeing that, I've exercised and this is what it kind of looks like. So you could actually put this, and this is spaced perfectly for the box in the Hobonichi Weeks, which is what I like. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5. This and then you could do, for me, what I would do is walking pad, and I would do 2 miles and T25 super walk. Oh, meditation. So whatever you want to track, so you could actually just kind of check off right here, which I thought was pretty cool. So that's one way you could use your Hobonichi Weeks. The monthly section is your workout calendar. And then you can go to your weekly section. I'm just going to pull a random empty page here that we could use. So here in the weeks, there's many things you can do here. I actually use this section as my, what do you call it? My shopping list and my shopping list for food. And you could actually track your meals. I like to track my meals. It's not so much my meals that I have a problem with, it's my snacks. So I like to write down everything that I put in my mouth. So here I could actually, in the previous ones, I have actually done these little boxes where you could actually reward yourself when you close a ring with some of these stickers. And this I got from Shady Pines Paper Co. She has these rings, I believe. Some other shops has them too. So you can actually use that. I love it only because it feels like I've accomplished something, and I can just put a little sticker and say I've closed all 3 rings. So with my watch, I actually have if you have an Apple Watch, you can set your goals. Like mine is 600 calories for me to close my move rings, and then my exercise is 35 minutes, and then the standing is 12. So I try to, if I don't close my move rings, my most important ring really is my exercise rings. But there's this little satisfaction that when you close all three rings and you get that little flash on your phone. So I really want to earn my stickers. So I always make sure that I close my move rings and all three of my rings and I get a little sticker. So here I like to write, obviously, my grocery stuff, things that I would like to buy, and how I feel that day too. So you can actually use it as you track your mood, how many hours of sleep you've had, food. Mostly this is my grocery section. So I like to do this as my to buy. So to buy. So I always, every week, I like to write down avocado is what I need. I always buy eggs and yogurt from Trader Joe's. I like the Greek lemon, Greek honey. And avocado eggs, I am not a chicken fan, so I like to have steak, and I like lamb and the salads. So it's salad mix, the spring mix, and I also love green beans and broccoli. Now I also write down, I feel like I just spelled that wrong. That's okay. I also like to write down any exercise that I have made have switched up. So if I was supposed to walk, but I didn't, instead I just went and played badminton or something, then I would write it in here as well, just so that I know. The other thing I also do here is, besides rewarding myself with my move rings, I would write what I had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you can split this in half. I'm trying to find a ruler. I really should be more prepared. Ah, there it is. And also, if I did takeout, there are days that I'm a little lazy at cooking, and I like to write down what I ate out. So besides this little spot here being my little move ring reward, I would have my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then if I ate out, I would write here. So if I ordered a salad from somewhere, delivery, I'm just going to fill this out. Simple way on how to use your weeks for your wellness goals. But the other thing too, it just really depends on what you want to track. So on the monthly section, the other thing that I also like to track, which I didn't mention earlier, is my weight. So if you are on a weight loss goal, I like to track my weight. I am actually at my heaviest. Actually, I should say I've gone down from my heaviest, but I'm still at my heaviest that I've ever been. And I like to track my weight. So I do a weekly weigh in, and it's usually on a Monday in the morning, first thing in the morning before I eat anything, immediately after I wake up. So I would put my weight every morning here on the monthly. It doesn't progress much, so I just like to see it, because last time I actually tracked my weight was a while ago, and I want to say earlier this year, And I didn't realize that I actually had lost some weight because Hassan was doing it with, Hassan was actually on a health kick and we were eating salads galore. And then I started moving a little bit more, and I noticed that I actually had dropped 10 pounds. Not that I feel it, but I did drop 10 pounds unconsciously, not knowing. So I like to just track my weight so that I know. Um, I don't want to weigh myself every single day. I think that would be just too stressful. But I just track my weight every Monday morning, the minute I wake up. Before my coffee, I would just write down my weight. And the other thing that you could track in your wellness too is your supplements. So if you want to do here, you can actually track your supplements this way, or in the back, these note pages, you can also track your supplements. So that's another thing that I like to do with this. So I've actually seen people do weight tracker on here, but if I were to weigh myself every single day, I think I would cry. So I don't use this. You can probably do supplements on this side. I I personally like the idea of, if it is really just getting healthy, it's not so much dropping the kilos or the pounds, then I would probably use this just to track your exercise. That's for me. I don't want to focus too much on the pounds or the kilos that I need to drop, or will, the weight. I want to focus on getting healthier, being more active. And one of my weak things is a cardio. So for me to actually be able to start running without having to pass out is very important to me. And cardio, because I do have asthma, and the cardio have actually helped me. So I like to actually just track the amount of time that I've actually done cardio. So anyway, each to their own. But you can actually track your weight on the monthly side, and then on the weekly side, you could all, track your food. And that is what I would do for my wellness and fitness calendar. So now let's talk about how we use our weeks as a finance tracker. So you could use a weeks to track your finances. I actually use mine every single day one as my finance tracker. But if you are dedicated to using a specific weeks just to track your finances, you could definitely do this with your Hobonichi Weeks. So I just pulled up a page here in January, how I actually use the monthly section to track my finances. So I would write down all my expenses. The monthly pages is also a really good space for you to track your pay. So if you are working full time or anything like that, I remember when I did work corporate job, it was always every Friday, not every Friday, every second Friday. So I would mark down the days that I would get paid. But because I am self-employed now, I get paid. Actually, I get paid on a Wednesday, on a Thursday. So I get paid every Thursday. That's how I schedule my own pay. But mostly here is I would write down all my expenses. Now, January generally is a big bill month for me because I actually have a lot of my bills that are taken out of my account on January because they're annual billing. So like Disney Plus, Paramount, Amazon. I think Amazon's on the 20th. So January is a big annual billing month for me. So obviously rent is due every month on the first of the month. My AT&T, which is my phone, I would write that down. It's on the second. And then all my credit card bills. Shopify, for me to maintain my shop, it's they have a monthly billing. I pay their service on an annual basis, so I pay a lump sum per year, but then they have like a monthly threshold. So that gets paid on the 8th. And then I have like electricity, my cable, Spectrum, cable, but what's the other? Oh, internet. That's what it is. Spectrum is my internet as well as my cable. So anything here, I would write down um, that is due that I know of. So it kind of obviously changed. So um, next month would probably be electricity in California is every other month. So that is not going to, if it's in January, it's going to be in March. So February is not going to have any of that. So you do work on this on a monthly basis, but I do love the monthly overview to see how or when the bills due and when I get paid. So how that is going to go on a weekly basis. Has is $600. So I would write them all down. And I do that here. And then what I do at the end of the month, you could actually write and tally it all up and do a summary at the end of the month and see where your expenses went. But this is generally how I use the weekly pages. One thing that I was tracking a lot was little money, where like gas, how much money I've spent on gas, and how much money that I spent when I go out and eat with friends. Things that you just don't realize that you just pull out your wallet or your debit card or your credit card to pay. So I always write them down on this weekly section. You can make this pretty if you want. I don't make my finance tracker pretty because it's not pretty to look at, but I do use my weekly to track my expenses. Uh, I don't use this side unless you have things that you want to write down, or you know something's happening or you want to budget for, then you can probably, I would use this empty space to write. So I usually just, for finance, I would just use the monthly and then use this as a log, as a, you know, running list of what you use to, what you spend basically, both cash and debit. And most important, the third way of using this is your everyday carry planner. So you would be able to, I use this as my everyday carry. This is my personal one, so I'm not using the dummy one to actually kind of show you, but you would use this the way the planner is designed to be used. So I have all my appointments here. I write all my future appointments, any classes I'm taking. It's on the monthly pages. You log birthdays, special events, any of that sort, all here on your daily planning for the month. I actually, what I do with my monthly is I pop in all the birthdays. I also even have my bill dues and stuff like that here on my EDC because it's with me, so I want to see it with me. Um, and then any of future plans I add in my monthly. And when I set up my weekly, I would look at my monthly and then transfer it over. So let me show you what I do here. These are just random layouts. I've seen people doodle, but my favorite is actually this layout because I love a to-do list. I work from home. My days are pretty much the same every single day. I don't have ample amount of calls. So I would just split this in half. I have a to-do list on this side. So I have things that I need to accomplish that day. And then on the other side, I basically either write down somebody's birthday, which is like my sister's birthday is that day. So I gave her a little sticker. I had to go and pick up something in Burbank, and I had to order food that day. I picked up, I dropped off Casey at the airport that day. So it's like around 10:30 that she's swinging by, or she needs to be dropped off by 10:30. New release day. I put a little YouTube icon here because I know I actually have to upload my YouTube videos. So this is like timed appointments. This is a running to-do list, especially on that day. So I actually have like deliveries. I like to log my delivery so that I would remember when certain things were being delivered. There's other ways of, this is another thing too. Sometimes I just like to write down my miles before I transfer it over to my, say, a fitness planner. So this is what I do for my weeks when I actually use it as a planner. It is not cute, guys. Look at this. There's stickers just randomly in places. It is not aesthetically pleasing, but it works. And I did this because I wanted to do time block again because I really love the paper test, and that is for the May 6th. But I don't think I'm going to end up doing that consistently. But this is just my daily planner. So you can use this as an appointment planner, place where you can just write your appointments, stuff like that. I also use it as a notebook. So when some things pop in my head, I will write it down. And I have trackers in the back. If you have cleaning trackers, if you're a big tracker person, there's ample amount of pages in the back. I've seen people use the back as their daily, like a daily pages too, if you're a daily planner. I'm more of a weekly planner. Like I said, my days are pretty much the same. It's that I pack orders, process orders, upload photos. I go across the street, which is the post office. I drop off. That's pretty much what I do consistently every single day. So this is what my planner looks like. And this is how you can use this as your daily planner. This goes with me just like this, with a cover, maybe the Tragan cover. And I use this all the time. I carry it with me everywhere. And the whole point of the weeks is that it is slim, and it's the idea is that it actually it fits in your pocket or your purse or your wallet. That's the whole point of the Hobonichi Weeks. So that's how I use my Hobonichi Weeks for daily planning. And lastly, your weeks as daily journal. This is my personal daily journal. I only just started using this in the spring. If you watch my other videos here on YouTube, you'll see that this is I've done a flip on this. So this is my daily journal. I not big on a journal. If you're a person who likes to journal and likes to write, this may be a little too small for you. So I just use this weekly page to kind of log certain things that happened. I think it's perfect amount of space for me. And that's what you do. This is what I did. I just filled up certain space with some photos. There are days I have nothing to write about. There are days that I have a lot to write about. Like this week, I had a lot to write about, and I'm fine with it. And here too, this is something that I would keep, and I don't keep my planners in general, like especially my day books. I toss them out. And this is the first time I'm actually journaling. And I find the A5 to be too big. A6 just is also too big. And I really like this. So, and I use this as my daily journal. It makes me happy. So that I can actually go back and look at it. I wish I actually started this a lot sooner. I tried the 5 year and it was just too much pressure. And I also combined this with my media journal because I've been watching certain things and I want to log them because certain things just took a lot of my brain space. So I wanted to really understand it. So I used the back here as my Turkish series journal. So I actually printed some photos, the series pictures on the back, and stickered it down. I actually stickered this down too, and this was not something that I want to do. So you can also use the back page to journal if you have a lot of things to write. Here you can actually like reference back to a page, say 21. But I just use the back as my media journal on things that I've watched that I kind of want to log about. But this is how I use this as my daily journal. It's enough for me to write. So if I write here for this day, and it probably overflows to that day. So I just keep everything pretty top level, unless like um there's a lot to write about, which, like I said, my days are not that eventful. So I really don't have much. So I just keep it top level. And then little motivational things like daily workout still going strong, keeps me happy. And then these are empty and I'm okay with it. Maybe I'll just put a washi strip there so it doesn't look so empty. So yeah, these are things that I write about, and then I will keep this as my 2024 journal. So in 2025, I can go and look back at this. So those are the 4 different ways I would recommend using the Hobonichi Weeks. I hope you find this useful, and I can't wait to see how you guys plan to use it.